Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, the verdict is in, folks. The numbers are in. You know, for a second there, far lefties were pretty close. They used the imagery of George Floyd and some other events as a political tool to try to usher in a new age of Marxist revolution. They tried, and you know what? For a while there, people were pretty sympathetic with their views. It seemed as though they were actually starting to expand and we were seeing a revolution, at least a cultural Marxist revolution, in the making. But then of course, lefties do what lefties do best, and they absolutely destroyed their own cause. They shot themselves in the foot. Self-sabotage, as we generally say. And now we have the numbers. It's basically official at this point. The American people soundly, firmly, absolutely reject Black Lives Matter as an organization. Of course, after having over a year at this point to learn about the Marxist underpinnings. And so they tried so hard, they got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter now, did it? And so let's cover the demise of another Marxist organization. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here are the numbers. Like usual, people lie, politicians lie, numbers don't. The poll, more registered voters oppose Black Lives Matter for the first time since 2018. 44% of respondents said that they oppose the BLM movement, compared to 43% who support it. 12% said that they neither support nor oppose, and 1% said unsure. The registered voters who answered the poll were asked, do you support or oppose the Black Lives Matter movement? Broken down by age group, more of the 50 to 64-year-old and 65 age plus groups said that they oppose the movement, while more respondents in the 18 to 34 and 35 to 49 age groups said that they support it. Additionally, 52% of male respondents oppose, while 50% of females support the movement. While a majority, 85% of Democrat respondents support the movement, the majority, 86% of Republicans, opposed it. Interestingly enough, more independent respondents opposed the movement, nearly half, 49%, compared to only 34% of the independents who support Black Lives Matter. And frankly, it is a beautiful thing to see. Now, of course, lefties are going to be screeching at the top of their lungs. How could it possibly be a beautiful thing? What do you think? Black lives don't matter? Of course, the same false argument we've heard a million times. But the reality is, the reason why support for Black Lives Matter has absolutely cratered is due to the fact that the actual organization, regardless of whatever it's called or named, fundamentally does not care about Black life, and this entire thing, the entire movement itself, in a certain way preys on the vulnerability of the Black community, preys on the despair and the suffering in order to further its own ambition. We've seen it endlessly, and the leaders of the movement themselves are the perfect example of that. Need I mention Patrice Cancoulers? But of course, if you think she's the only one, then you have another thing coming. Black Lives Matter Inc. Black Minnesota community leader discussed shakedown in new video. Black Lives Matter collected $30+ million, but didn't put $1 into the community. And of course, the residents of Minneapolis are waking up more than anyone else. I mean, maybe not the white latte liberals, but the actual community members themselves are certainly starting to realize. Take a look.
The Black Lives Matter movement up here for us has been a matter of cosmetizing the corpse to camouflage the curse.
See right here? This is a multi-million-dollar operation.
The figures vary from $35 million to $50 million.
Who got some of that money?
Not a dime can I count that they've given us anything back. Nothing.
In my estimation, they've caused just as much harm as some would think that they've done good.
It was a lot of different organizations out here. They kind of brought themselves in here, tried to make themselves something that they wasn't.
A large force of anarchists with them, and you know, different radical type groups.
You could tell that the place and the stickers and different things, they was never from here. They came in here. They were sent to come in here to do this.
These people are community leaders and community organizers from Minneapolis, from the exact area where the George Floyd incident occurred, and from the exact area that BLM and Antifa thugs ravaged. Those same community leaders who were trying to actually make a difference on the street and elevate the community say that $30+ million of fundraising occurred, and they did not see a dime for their community. And you gotta take their word for it, because these are the actual people who would know. These are the street level grassroots organizers. These are the people who live there every single day, day in and day out, trying to make their communities better. And they received zero financial aid. And it just happens to be a coincidence that Democrats saw record fundraising during last year's summer riots. I wonder where the money went. Actually, the fact that we have no transparency on that is absolutely insane. And so there are so many different elements. Now, the whole Marxism thing is one. The avowed Marxist leadership that created multi-million-dollar personal brands for themselves like Patrice Cancoulers, who then immediately moved to the whitest neighborhood in the California hills. That's one thing. Their mission statement to destroy the nuclear family, that's another. The $30 million that seemingly disappeared, alongside the other tens of millions across the country, that's another. But of course, the most important thing is the actual results themselves. For instance, here's an example. If you donate to charity and then you find out that your money didn't actually go to the charity that you donated to, well, you're going to be pretty pissed. Or another example, let's say you're paying a company to mow your lawn, and it's been 2 years and the grass is up to your knees and nobody is mowing it. There's a lack of results. Well, once again, you're going to be pretty pissed. That's exactly what's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. Not only is the money missing, but most importantly than all, the actual results are missing, as every single one of these communities becomes more and more violent. The perfect example right over here, honestly the perfect imagery, St. Louis mayor press conference on violent crime interrupted by gunfire, and it's the exact same thing that we've seen a million times. Remember that news reporter who was doing a segment in front of the George Floyd Memorial, and then all of a sudden he's ducking as people are just shooting at each other across the street?
They wanted this bill of comprehensive police reform to be just got to be careful here with some gunshots. Excuse us, excuse us. It sounds like gunshots. I'll let you know what this is. These seem to be gunshots.
Well, what exactly did the millions upon millions of dollars and all the calls to defund the police, what exactly did they do to make people's lives better or make the community safer? The answer is very simple. Jack squat. They did nothing. Here's an ABC segment of what's going on in Democrat-run Philadelphia, which is once again another Democrat city being described as if it were a war zone.
What's your understanding of what's going on around here in the neighborhood?
It's very uncomfortable for us when we want to hang out with our friends that we have to look over our shoulders every day.
I don't walk to school or walk back. My mom makes me drive.
You still have to think about what can I do to make sure that I'm not in that situation, or what can I do to make sure that my future and my life are set so I could get out of this city.
More than 80% of homicide victims in Philadelphia last year were black men.
People are describing their living conditions as living in a war zone. And what's the Democrat focus? Voter ID? The phantom of evil orange Donald Trump? What about public safety? What about the constant loss of life in the city of Chicago? Once again, black lives are supposed to matter. We've made this point a million times. But as black life is taken senselessly every single day in the city of Chicago, what are people talking about? Well, MSNBC's Barnacle puts it into perspective. Why is it? We asked ourselves actually the exact same question a couple days ago. Why is it that we're hearing more about Alec Baldwin shooting someone than the near constant gun crime and loss of black life in the city of Chicago? I mean, it's an absolute human tragedy. Loss of life on frankly a scary level. And the organization that calls itself Black Lives Matter doesn't even want to have a conversation about black life in the city of Chicago, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Oakland, New York City, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. Detroit, Baltimore, Milwaukee, they don't even want to have a conversation. And of course, the result is they've absolutely lost their credibility, and now we are seeing it in the numbers as more Americans oppose the organization than support it for the first time since 2018. But of course, that's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. I gotta get back to work though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.